Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We finally have a new Planet of the Apes movie. Thank God. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I think that this is a great addition to the overall Apes saga. I feel like this movie was able to elevate the world building of Planet of the Apes, but also pay tribute to the reboot trilogy, but also the OGs, the classics with Heston and Roddy McDowell. And all the little references inside this movie just had me with a huge smile on my face because I am such a big fan of this franchise. I've even seen the TV series and I love it. I love all the little details that Westball had placed inside this movie. It was just great, and if you're an Ape fan, you are gonna love this movie. It works so well for the most part. And yes, there are some flaws in this movie and some plot holes, but we'll get into that later. So we start off this movie with our new protagonist, Noah, and we get introduced to his family and his ape clan who raise and train eagles. And we just get to see like this whole new kind of world of apes. And it works really well. It's not to the extent of the 68 movie, and it is getting there with the feral humans, who I think we should have seen more of. And they call them the Echo in this movie. And yeah, we just get to see like this beautiful dystopian overgrown world, and we get to follow Noah on this journey that he has to go across to help these apes out. And he eventually runs into these new additional characters in the movie, like May, who I was not a fan of, where she makes really poor and selfish decisions throughout this entire movie, not caring for anyone but herself. And then we also get introduced to my personal favorite character, Raka, who just added this missing levity to the movie and a comedic side that was definitely lacking throughout the first act of the movie. He was just great. Sadly, he gets sidelined throughout this movie, and I just wish we got to see more of his character. So yeah, and then we eventually follow Noah into this kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, where Proximus Caesar has brought these different clans of apes together to work for him to try open this vault. And he's just trying to bring these apes together, you know? And I can understand him to an extent, but he is really stupid in this movie, and he is one of the downfalls about this movie, and I was really let down by his character because he doesn't really have any other motivation besides just wanting to be the next Caesar, and it just felt like his character lacked the connection between him and Noah, and he wasn't threatening whatsoever when I was watching him. I felt a much better villain in this movie was actually the gorilla. I forgot his name. He was a bodyguard for Proximus, and he had a much bigger connection to Noah, and I wish that they switched the characters around, where Proximus showed up at the start and just had a much bigger connection and a more threatening presence towards Noah, where he was just introduced in the last hour, and he's just made these stupid decisions throughout this entire movie, where we get introduced to this vault that he's trying to open. Sorry, this is going to get into a little bit of spoilers, but he's trying to open this vault, and he's using this brute force with the horses and apes and using dynamite and trying to melt the door. And he's been getting at this thing for months on end and doing this every day, and it's just never worked. And he's like, well, it'll work one day. And then, spoilers here, May and Noah and some other apes just go around the mountain and find a secret entrance that's obviously right there, like it's right in the open, and they just go in, turn the lights on, and boom, they got all this human stuff. And it's like, you're telling me Proximus has been there for months with this army of apes, and none of them have stumbled upon the secret entrance? I find that hard to believe. So I'm not going to go into any more details about this movie because I think that you should probably go see it. It is really good. It's just a giant love letter towards Apes fans, and even if you aren't an Apes fan, you're probably still gonna like it because it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of great stuff in here. The VFX and CGI and cinematography are just gorgeous. You're watching this movie and you just forget about what's going on, and you can just look at the screen and the beauty. It looks fantastic. I mean, like, you can't even compare this movie to the other Apes films. Like, those look incredible, but some of the shots inside this movie are just gorgeous. It just had me in awe the entire movie. And to add on to some more pros, I mean, our protagonist, Noah, I thought he was a great candidate to be the next Caesar. I don't think he lives up to being Caesar. I mean, we haven't seen 3 movies with him, but even after watching Rise, you're like, you love Caesar. He's just such a special character. And I think, yeah, Noah was able to make himself feel like his own character, and he had just such a great character journey throughout this entire movie, and especially in the final fight scene, he was just so great. That scene was so badass. I loved it so much. But yeah, I just thought that he was able to convey a lot of emotion throughout this movie, and I really liked his character. Another pro that I think has to be one of the best aspects about this movie is just the music inside of it. They used like Michael Giacchino's score from the reboot trilogy, but they also use inspiration from the Jerry Goldsmith original movie, and it was just great. I was jumping up and down on my seat like I was a fucking ape when I heard like the little piano notes inside of the music. Oh, it was great. It was great. And there's gonna be a whole bunch of little homages to the originals, and I love that so much that they were able to do this in like this 2024 movie with this 50-year-old franchise. It was so great, and I love it so much. But overall, yes, I think there are flaws within this movie, but I think that the good far outweighs the bad, and there's a lot of stuff to love about this movie. So anyways, I had a lot of fun with it. Definitely go watch it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.